In this podcast, Ben Shapiro discusses the case of Fani Willis, the Fulton County district attorney who brought charges against former President Trump for alleged violations of RICO law. Shapiro introduces the concept of the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is a bias in the brain where individuals tend to overestimate their abilities. He explains that this effect is particularly evident in people who have been made untouchable by the system, such as those who have risen through the ranks based on their intersectional identity. Fani Willis is portrayed as a prime example of the Dunning-Kruger effect, with an intersectional twist. She is accused of engaging in a romantic relationship with Nathan Wade, a prosecutor she appointed to help with the case against Trump. The relationship raises questions about conflicts of interest and misuse of taxpayer funds. Willis faces accusations of violating state conflict of interest and public money laws. During an evidentiary hearing, witnesses testify about Willis and Wade's relationship, with one witness confirming they were romantically involved since 2019. Wade, on the stand, tries to deny the relationship, citing health issues, but his testimony is not convincing. He also admits to paying for expenses using his business credit card and claims Willis reimbursed him in cash. Willis takes the stand and vehemently defends herself, claiming that the court is intruding into her personal life and that the media has lied about her. She denies any wrongdoing and asserts that she paid Wade back in cash for their shared expenses. She also admits to keeping cash from her campaign for personal use, potentially implicating herself in a campaign finance violation. As the hearing progresses, it becomes clear that Willis's testimony is not convincing, and her behavior raises doubts about her integrity and judgment. Even MSNBC analysts suggest that Willis may need to step aside from the case to protect its integrity. The case against Trump is deemed to be in jeopardy due to Willis's actions, and there are calls for her to be disqualified from the proceedings. The podcast highlights the dangers of the Dunning-Kruger effect, especially when combined with unchecked power and privilege. Willis's case serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of overestimating one's abilities and engaging in unethical behavior. It also underscores the importance of accountability and transparency in positions of authority, particularly in the legal system. Donald Trump's legal troubles include an upcoming trial related to hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels. The trial is set to begin in late March, with allegations that Trump violated campaign finance laws. Additionally, there is a case brought by special counsel David Weiss against a former FBI informant, Alexander Smirnov, for lying to the FBI and creating false records. This case is seen as an attempt to discredit allegations against Joe and Hunter Biden related to Burisma Holdings. The death of Alexei Navalny, a prominent critic of Vladimir Putin in a Russian prison under suspicious circumstances, raises concerns about the Kremlin's treatment of political opponents. Navalny had been poisoned with a nerve agent in 2020 and was sentenced to a penal colony upon returning to Russia. His death extinguishes the last real political opposition in Russia and highlights the dangers faced by critics of the regime. Tucker Carlson's recent coverage of Russia, including visits to a Moscow train station and supermarket, has been criticized for its propaganda-like nature. Carlson's portrayal of Russia as a model to emulate for the United States overlooks the country's economic struggles, high poverty rates, and lack of basic amenities for many citizens. His focus on superficial aspects like clean train stations and affordable groceries fails to address the underlying issues faced by the Russian population. The juxtaposition of Tucker's coverage with the reality of life in Russia, including low wages, high inflation, and limited access to basic necessities, highlights the disconnect between propaganda and the lived experiences of ordinary Russians. The glorification of Russia as a superior alternative to the United States ignores the systemic problems and human rights abuses prevalent in the country.